Hello everybody, this is Noah Cornelius doing a video on McClung today. So, this is a interesting case, unique individual, unique situation. I think it's pretty obvious if you follow basketball at all and you have half a brain that this guy is supposed to be an NBA player at the very minimum. Maybe an all-star, maybe one of the best players in the league. But you don't know because they don't play him in the NBA. He has had one game in the NBA where he played significant minutes. I think he's got like 4 or 5 total games, but you know, they put him in some garbage time. He had one game where he played and he had 22 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, something like that. Maybe 10 assists. He's like really close to a triple-double in about 30 minutes of play or so. So he definitely passed the one test that they gave him. So I kind of wanted to compare him to somebody else in the NBA because I've heard people say he's too short, which sounds like complete BS to me. I've heard people say he can't defend, which sounds like complete BS again. I've even heard people say he can't shoot. If you don't think this guy can shoot the lights out the gym, you are not watching what is going on. So I'm going to compare him to Steph Curry. So a lot of you guys think Steph Curry is the best shooter that ever was, and you might be right. But let's look at Mac's numbers compared to Steph Curry's. Granted, Mac's aren't in the NBA, but that's not his fault, you know? And I actually think if you put Mac in the NBA, some of his stats, such as assists, go up. Because a lot of these G League bums, he practically sets them up for a layup and they miss it. Tons of open threes missed. I mean, Curry's been dishing to Klay Thompson. I mean, I know he's not there now, but he's been passing off to guys who make a much greater percentage than guys playing in the Orlando, whatever they're called, G League team. I think they're also called the Magic. I don't know. Been to a couple of the games there. They're pretty fun with Mac. Anyway, back to Curry versus Mac, okay? They're both listed at the same height, 6'2", okay? There goes everybody's arguing that Mac is too short, okay? They're also both 185 pounds, okay? So, you got guys smaller than that in the NBA. I know there's an Asian guy who's like 5'8", and he ain't even close to as good as Mac. No way. So saying he's too short for a point guard, I don't see where anybody's getting that. Plus, let's take these and add it to the list. Vertical jump, okay? Curry's not even close. Curry's not even close. Not on the same planet as McClung, okay? Speed. Curry is not even close. In fact, I mean, you could really compare his vertical and his speed to the whole rest of the league. Maybe, I don't know what Ja Morant's vertical is, but there's few guys that in the NBA that can jump as high as Mac. I mean, if any, he might be the biggest leaper. I think he got a 48. I believe he got a 48 in the NBA's version of the combine, whatever you want to call it, like the NFL combine. She's 1 inch less than Michael Jordan, who's got the highest ever. So he's probably the highest in the NBA, if he was in the NBA. Well, technically he's on the Magic. I don't know. He's the highest jumper in the NBA, most likely. Then we got speed. Like I said, he ran the fastest 3/4 court time in the Columbine in the last, I think, 22 years. So whoever did it 22 years ago that was actually faster than Mac, he's not still playing. So that makes Mac the fastest guy in the NBA. Okay, so #1 in vertical, #1 in speed, quickness. I've watched this guy play, and the only guy I've seen that is in the same league as Mac is Kyrie Irving. And I believe Mac, being a little bit younger, is quicker. There's no way, I guess, there's no numbers to back this up, but I've watched a lot of Kyrie and I've watched a lot of Mac, and Mac's quicker. Mac's first step is quicker. He's got it. And then handles. Mac is just sick. I mean, he is just a sick puppy. I mean, nobody's got handles like him. I will again argue he may be the best in the NBA as far as handles. And if you think that I'm just off my rocker and crazy, you haven't watched Mac McClung. That's how good this kid is, okay? Same height and weight as Curry, but he's far more athletic, okay? Bigger vertical. He's faster. He's quicker. His skill sets are better. He's got handles. He's got a hook shot. What other 6'2" guy got a hook shot? Mac's just as good with his left as he is with his right. I see Mac go left all the time and finish with his left. A lot of the guys in the NBA don't do that. Manu Ginobili made a career just going, he was left-handed. Never shot with his right, whole career. I mean, Manu, great player. Mac's better than that. More skilled than Manu Ginobili, that's for sure. But let's go back to the Steph Curry comparison here. So, Mac is obviously a 2-time slam dunk champion. I kind of just went over how he's better than Curry in that respect. So let's I'm gonna come back to that, but let's go to shooting right now, okay? Because I've heard say Mac can't shoot, which is completely, you couldn't be more wrong if you said that, okay? Mac, let's look at his overall shooting, okay? Overall shooting for his career, he is 51%. 51%. Okay? I believe Steph Curry, okay, is 47%. That's 4% better than the world's best shooter, okay? Yeah, he's in the G League, but until you put him in the NBA, you can't say he can't do it. If you put him in the NBA and then he doesn't follow through, fine, But it's not like in baseball, for example. I'm well versed in baseball. It's not like guys in the minor leagues are hitting 400, and then when they get to the big leagues, they're hitting 320. It doesn't work like that. When you're at that level, okay, when you're one level below the highest level in the world, these things don't change that drastically. Some things may go up, or some things may go down, but some things may go up. So we got Mac takes the edge in overall shooting over Curry from the data points we got. Okay, I'm not gonna say that he's a better shooter than Steph Curry. I'm just gonna say that given the opportunity, he may be a better shooter than Steph Curry. We don't really know, I would say. So that's overall shooting percentage. Now let's go to three-pointers. Okay. Let's see, Mac's career three-point shooting percentage is 42%. That's amazing. That's amazing. Nobody shoots 42% at volume like Mac from beyond the arc. You know where Curry is? 42.5. There's 0.5% between Mac and Steph Curry. Don't tell me Mac can't shoot. You're crazy. You're crazy. There's a half. The arc is the same distance away. And you know what? Mac creates a lot of his own shots, a lot easier than Curry. He does not need to catch and shoot. He's got the step back. He's got a much bigger bag. He can shake defenders and get up his own three easier than Curry. And if you don't know that, you haven't watched Mac, okay? He cooks him on that, on creating his own shot, okay? And they shoot from beyond the arc at the same rate, okay? In fact, I looked into it a little bit deeper, and Curry's best season ever from beyond the arc is, let's see here, I got 45.5%. That's the best season Curry had from behind the arc. Mac actually last season shot 47%. That's almost 2% better than Curry's best. So Mac's ceiling is up. It's up there. Don't tell me that, that these numbers are necessarily going down if he goes to the NBA. Because, it's the same distance away. The defending definitely is going to be better in the NBA, but Mac's still that much quicker. We went over how athletic he is. You're not going to stop this guy from getting a shot off. That's for sure. Okay, so then what do we got left? Okay, so free throw. And this is, I think, one of the most important statistics for free throw for shooting. Reason being is you can take all sorts of types of three-pointers. We know Steph takes some very deep three-pointers, and obviously that lowers your percentage. So the thing about the free throw and why people like to look at that is what your real shooting percentage or true measure of your shooting potential is that everything is the same every time. You're at the exact same spot. You're the same distance away. Nobody backs away from the free throw line and takes a long free throw. So in this statistic, Curry takes the edge. He's 91% free throw shooter, which is unreal. I think that is close to the best ever, if not the best. I think, I don't know if it's Rick Barry, or not Rick Barry, I'm sorry. The guy shot the granny ball. I think he might have been the best for a while. I don't know. But the best guys, I know Steve Nash was around 90%. So that's impressive. Curry takes the edge there. Mac is an 85% free throw shooter. That puts him up, I believe that would put him in the top 10 in the NBA. So, Curry takes that, but no shame for Mac there. 85%. No, That's very respectable, very solid. Okay, now let's look at rebounds. Okay, Steph Curry, 4.7 for his career. McClung, 4.6. Identical. It's identical. Okay. I don't know if that changes that much in the NBA. Certainly there's just as tall of players in the G League. There's just as strong. Mac's aggressive. I don't see why he wouldn't still get his 4.6, 5 rebounds. Now here's another interesting stat: assists. Okay, Mac is at 6.2, and Curry is at 6.4. I think if Mac's in the NBA, he's got an easy 8. Look at the guys that Curry gets to pass to compared to who's shooting off Mac's passes. And Mac is more of a creator. He's more athletic. He gives guys more out of position. He'll draw a double team more, especially going to the hole. There's no question he's going to draw more double teams, and he's going to beat his man off the dribble and create problems way more than Curry. So I think you got to give the assists to Mac, even with a slightly lower 6.2 to 6.4, 0.2 advantage to Curry. I think you actually give the playmaking ability and the assist to Mac because of his athleticism and because of and mainly because of the players that he's playing with. If he's with NBA players, I think he gets another 2 assists a game just because they're better shooters. They're not all these bums like Bronny James. You don't have him in there. He didn't last in the NBA too long. All right, so what else is defense. Okay, this is also pretty interesting. Curry averages 0.3 blocks per game. Mac averages 0.3 blocks per game. Curry's, I would argue Curry, through his peak, when they were winning the championships, when they were beating LeBron every year, was the best player in the world. I mean, he was certainly better than LeBron. He was beating him every time. And Mac's defense is right there with him. In blocks, I'm sorry, we just went over blocks. I'm saying steals. Curry's got a slight edge, 1.5 to 1.2. So, I mean, it's not a major difference. We're looking pretty similar. What else did we look at? Okay, here's another important stat. Turnovers, okay? Mac averages 2.6 turnovers a game. Curry averages 3.1. So there, Mac gets the edge. Like I said, he's got better handles. Proof. And I would say that Mac passes more than Curry too. Part of that is because you got these GMs and these numbskulls trying to tell Mac that he can't be the main, the number one option, which he definitely probably would be. But they're trying to get him to pass more, and he's kind of got to listen to you got to listen to your coach, or he's not going to play you. I mean, so Mac's doing more with the ball and turning it over less for sure. Let's see anything else I can point to. I think it would be really cool with Mac's 3-point shooting percentage if they could get him in the 3-point shooting contest and he'd be the first guy to ever win the slam dunk and the three-point shooting contest. And look at his numbers. In the three-point shot shooting contest, nobody's guarding you, okay? So, NBA, G League, don't matter. And Mac doesn't fold under pressure. I've seen him in the Orlando G League. Not very many people, not such as pressure atmosphere. But then when he played in Philly, packed NBA energy, and the guy fucking nearly hit a triple double, and just was performed great. You know, I've never seen Mac buckle under any type of pressure. So really, the three-point contest is about pressure. There's nobody guarding you. You know, you got to get the shots off, and they got to go in. And you know, Mac's best season of three-point shooting is better than Curry's. Their career percentage is nearly identical. So I think he's a very deserving all-star three-point contestant. That would be very cool to see him win both. Now, I've dispelled all the practical reasons why McClung is not in the NBA. So what are the real reasons that he's not in the NBA? Well, I can tell you this. You got LeBron promoting Kamala Harris, and you got the whole NBA wearing Black Lives Matter regalia. And there's a lot of politics in the NBA. There's a lot of nepotism. We see it with Bronny James. There's a lot of in-group preference, which is a precursor to you know what. I'll try to keep it clean and not say that. But my man Mac McClung is a young white male American, which not, you know, he's a minority in the NBA. Let's put it that way. And that's not even really. I wouldn't say that's the reason, because there's other young white males in the NBA that are American, although mostly European. But they keep their mouths shut and go along to get along. They're not prolific like Mac. Dalton Connect. Who's the other guy on the Lakers? You know, Tyler Hero. I mean, they're all right. They're all right. They're not stars. Mac's a star. I've seen Mac on several different TV commercials. I know that people follow this kid all the way from his days of Gate City and his high school mixtapes. I know Shaq has been a fan of his since high school. I mean, there's a lot of eyes on Mac. Mac's got a shoe deal with Adidas. I believe he's making well over $1 million just on his shoe deal. These other guys aren't. These other young white guys in the NBA, they do not have that star power. And like I said with LeBron earlier, he makes an issue out of freaking everything. The biggest crybaby in the world. I mean, one of the weakest players, not physically, but mentally, quitting, complaining, one of the weakest guys ever. Mac is the exact opposite. He's strong. He never complains. He's not a baby on the court. He doesn't make excuses. He owns his actions. He doesn't blame anybody that he hasn't been in the NBA, although he could. And I would almost argue he should. I mean, but, you know, Mac's got class. And he has morals. He's got integrity. And this doesn't seem to be what the NBA is about these days, you know. They're about protecting LeBron and pushing a narrative. You know, and I could care less about politics. But anytime you start putting politics into conversation, it divides people. It's a bad subject. And if you're a basketball player, if you're an entertainer, really a basketball player is like a musician, you're an entertainer. Why divide people? You know, I mean, I think there's a famous quote by Michael Jordan. He said, Democrats buy sneakers too. You know, Republicans, Democrats, both play basketball. Why are you going to alienate them? You know, and maybe he's neither one. Maybe Mac's neither one. Maybe he's like me, he doesn't care. Anyway, he's got all the right attributes, and for some reason, the NBA doesn't want to promote that. They want to promote trash and low moral characters. It's like my last video, I said, we know who Mike Tyson is now. He's a guy who rigs fights and is dishonest. Okay? There you go. That's LeBron James as well. I don't know if he's rigged anything, but you know, steroid use, Kevin Garnett, everybody knows what's going on. You can read between the lines. Anyways, that's my video on McClung. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and all that, blah, blah, blah. Peace out. Have a good one.